Hey everybody, today I am reviewing the new Amy Winehouse documentary, which is simply entitled Amy. We all know the reputation of Amy Winehouse, we all know who she was as an artist, and how she inevitably spiraled out of control and died at the age of 27. Much like Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix, the list goes on, she joins the 27 Club. She was a British singer and songwriter who had this extraordinary voice that is so unlike anything we've ever heard. It's reminiscent of people like Ella Fitzgerald. I know she's been compared to her, but it's just this kind of jazzy, smoky originality in the way that she enunciates her words, just has such personality. She was just a very sad, troubled artist, and her music and her lyrics really reflected that pain, which I think is why so many people connected to her. The film itself is a very straightforward documentary. It doesn't break any ground or try to be innovative. The structure of it is quite linear, but its simplicity is, to me, what worked about it so well. The film doesn't seem as concerned with Amy's accomplishments or how she was perceived in the media or how, it wasn't trying to glorify her death in any way. I think it's really just a documentary that's trying to show who she was as a person. It's very stripped down, it's very raw, like an open wound, honestly, is how I would describe this film. Basically, it's her life told through friends and family. The one thing that I really get annoyed with when I watch any kind of makings of or any documentary of any sort is how they tend to glorify the person that they're talking about. You'll have a great artist or, a famous person and they're just like, oh, they were the genius of our time, blah, 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 and they're just kissing their ass the whole time. I don't like that because I feel like, yes, we know they had talent, we know they had an impact, but that's just really boring. I want to get past all of that, strip away the persona and, who they were maybe on stage and go backstage. What caused them to be who they were and kind of where they found the ability to impact so many people. That's exactly what this film gave me. This, as well as Montage of Heck, the Kurt Cobain documentary, which came out a few months ago, both are very similar in that they try to be more intimate portraits. And they also use a lot of home movies and footage that was shot by friends and family, which gives it that personal feel. In Amy's case, it allows us to see behind the makeup and the beehive hairdo and all of that, and we see her, everything about her, all the different facets, the flaws, the strengths, and the innocence, the naivete, and it's just completely devastating to watch. Amy herself is just very compelling. I love seeing that early the early footage of her, like when she was 16, 17, because she just has this very kind of ballsy, unfiltered feel to her. A very kind of, I don't want to say normal girl because I hate the word normal, but she wasn't fazed by anything. Really, she just wanted to sing and allow people to hear her. She wasn't interested in the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, or sorry, not Hollywood, but just the music industry. That naivete just made her so relatable, and as you see her downward spiral, you just want to just go up and hug her and tell her that, it's gonna be okay. And just for me, on a personal note, this film really did affect me quite deeply, and it mainly because just watching her as a person, I could see a lot of her behaviors as things that I've gone through in my own personal life. It's usually the more intuitive, kind of creative and emotional people that are very seduced by darkness and pain. They almost find a comfort in that pain. And sometimes certain circumstances can lead you further into that darkness. Some of us are lucky in that we've been able to rise above it because of support systems or whatever. But I think all of that fame and that chaos surrounding Amy just caused her to lose it. And I think the line that really clinched it for me was something that I think it was Tony Bennett. He said it towards the end of the film. I may be wrong on that, and I can't quote it verbatim, but it was something along the lines of, when you sing a song, you want to sing it, you want to feel something, but you want to sing it better each time because you can feel it more, you can feel harder, and that's that honesty that we're trying to get to. I feel like Amy is a very honest, emotional, and vulnerable person. And when you have somebody that loves so hard or is so passionate, all of that viscera, all that feeling can kind of tip the scale into self-destruction. And if I'm comparing this to Montage of Heck, the Kurt Cobain film, I personally think that I think I like the Montage of Heck film better, just because I love how creative the film is, how it really, using imagery and animated sequences, tried to get into that cerebral, area. It's trying to get into Kurt Cobain's creative mind and figure out what he was going through and when he was writing, when he, whatever. And I just love that. I thought it was really cool to see somebody trying to take documentary films into a more fresh and interesting light. On repeated viewings, I would probably return to that film more often. But that being said, this film I felt more emotionally in my heart. And again, I think I am biased, because I did recognize more of myself in Amy as opposed to Kurt Cobain. But they're both great, and even though it is really hard to watch at times, it's important for us to see who these people are, who these artists are beyond what you hear on talk shows and things like that, because what is so upsetting is how we use pop stars and rock stars and movie stars as we just tear them apart, and it's kind of disgusting in a lot of ways. So if we had more films like this and like Montage of Heck, we would be able to see kind of who these people are, and to me that's what's so important, is emotional resonance. So that is my review. Thank you all for listening. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, the link is below, and you can also like my Facebook page in the link below that. Catch you next time.